Throughout this year, as Democratic leadership have been attempting to tamp down expectations about any sort of impeachment proceedings or even investigation against Donald Trump, one of the big tools, one of the big narratives that they've used is the idea that no, don't impeach him. He secretly wants that. That's actually what he wants. He wants to be attacked. Thus, he can defend himself. So if you start some sort of investigation, if you impeach him, it will only make him grow ever more powerful. That has always seemed a little bit ridiculous, a little too clever for me. That's 7-dimensional chess there. But look, I'm not the expert. Let's turn to an expert on the idea. Would a president ever want to be impeached? We turn now to Donald Trump.
Listening to them say, oh, he'd love to be impeached. He'd love to be impeached. He'd love to see the government shut down. You know, whenever it comes to something like the catastrophe that just happened with executive action. He'd love to see all the Democrats. I mean, they must be coached. They must go to school for this. He'd love to be impeached. Please impeach him. It would be so good for the Democrats. Please shut down the government. It would be so good for Obama. That's what they want, shut down the government. What a lot of crap. Because all what they're doing, they're actually talking the Republicans into not doing. Do you think Obama seriously wants to be impeached and go through what Bill Clinton did? He would be a mess. He would be thinking about nothing but it would be a horror show for him. It would be an absolute embarrassment. It would go down on his record permanently. But they're saying, oh, he'd love to be impeached. That would be so good. And the Republicans are all saying, oh, we'd never impeach him. We'd never impeach him because he'd like that.
Well,
and the Republicans, and I'm a Republican, and the Republicans are saying, on the other hand, about the other shutting down.
Okay, so that was Donald Trump back in, I believe it was November 24th, 2014. Credit to Parker Malloy, one of the best news hounds in the business. She tracked down this clip. And yeah, look, he's an idiot and a buffoon, and we're gonna get to that in just a second, but he's not necessarily wrong there. Like, that sort of argument is very self-serving from the president's point of view. If it helps to dissuade people from the opposite side from actually thinking seriously about impeachment. Now, obviously, the stuff they were talking about at that time, being impeachable offenses, was ridiculous. It was a weird ball of hair and right-wing conspiracy theories. But the idea does stand, and look at what Donald Trump said there. He'd be thinking about nothing but it would be a horror show, an embarrassment, it would be permanently on his record. That was what Donald Trump thought about that. Now, Donald Trump's not talking about that now, but he hasn't had a new thought in 30 years. That's still bouncing around in that orange dome. And so the idea that he wouldn't want to be impeached is absurd. It would be a disaster for him. Now, that's not why the Democrats should do it. They shouldn't be considering either his psychology or sort of electoral partisan consequences. They should be considering whether or not he has committed impeachable offenses and whether or not it's risen to the point where they have to do their constitutional duty by impeaching him. I would argue that we are long past that point, but more and more evidence comes out every single day. I do want to turn to one more video though, just give an idea of how prepared Donald Trump is for the impeachment process. Listen to what he said back in 2014.
Has the president done something worthy of impeachment, and should he be impeached?
Well, he certainly did something that was unconstitutional. Now, depends on Justice Roberts if he wants to just curry favor in the Beltway like he did with Obamacare, because that's the only reason he did it, because he knows he was wrong. But it certainly depends on what happens. I mean, I think certainly he could be impeached, and certainly they could shut down.
In 2014, and I believe still, he thinks that the Supreme Court is the body that does impeachment. It's a court, I guess it has to be, right? It's like you have your day in court. He thinks that. Like, he was like 4 months from declaring that he was running for the presidency, and he has no idea what is in our Constitution. That's not the most important thing, but it is something to bear in mind. Now, we are waiting on pins and needles for a meeting later on, and word from the Democratic leadership. Are they finally going to move on impeachment? I don't know, my expectations are subterranean at this point, but the numbers are swelling. John Lewis had very powerful comments earlier today about why the time had come. And someone who's long been right on this issue, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she tweeted earlier, yes, this is an emergency. We don't have the luxury of time with another committee. Judiciary has been investigating and putting the pieces together for months. Impeachment belongs there. We must honor jurisdiction, historical precedent, and work done, and allow judiciary to move forward. So she appears to share some of the concerns that Representative Ro Khanna was sharing with us, that even if it seemed like they were moving towards impeachment, setting up a brand new select committee could just be another sophisticated way of kicking the can down the road. And so watch out for that. But as of right now, it is possible that today there will finally be some movement on this issue. And if that is the case, then as much as it pains me, I have to quote Cenk Uygur by saying, tick, 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 tick. So we'll see about that. Again, manage your expectations, people. This is a Democratic Party after all. Thank you for watching this clip from the Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.